Hi, continuing. So, with the trees, I was trying to work out which trunks and whether I was going to ink the sides, and I inked some of the sides of this piece of brown that I thought was going to go, but it's too much, so they're not working. That was a waste of time. So then I went back to my original, you might remember way back at the start, where I actually made trees out of this material. But I decided that I actually quite like them as textural pieces for the trunks of these trees. So I'm going to glue those down. And the other thing that I'm going to do is probably on this area, I have darkened that area there a little bit off camera. I always forget to turn on the camera when I'm inspired, sorry. And then I've decided that what I'm going to do, even though I did that goldy, bit there, I'm going to put this translucent, this paper there. That is actually what I'm going to do. So I'm going to rip that out to fit in that area. I don't think it's going to be the whole thing. I think I'm going to leave some of that at the top out. But yes, anyway, that is the piece that I'm going to use for the bottom clothing, which is very bronzy, oddly enough, but I quite like it. I think it will look well. It kind of matches, I suppose, because of the red. It sort of goes with that. The other thing that I had done was, remember I mentioned that piece of paper that I'd printed on and found was on this one here. I have actually made a stencil, of course, and I did actually cut that one out. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see whether or not that works after I've put down this and this. So I won't do that piece just yet because it might not work, even though I'm going to ink or draw, after I've clear gessoed. Okay, I'm going to glue those down and I'm going to rip that out, and I know you know how to do that, so you don't need to see that. And I'll be back. Okay, so we're back and I've now finished gluing down the clothing at the bottom, and so I can't clear gesso until I've kind of got all of the paint or papers or whatever I'm going to do down first. The tree line is very much at the back, and this area, I feel like I need to do something with this particular area here. I haven't decided on whether or not this is what the picture's going to look like, or whether it might be that that's actually going to be down here somewhere in breaking up the green. I mean, I quite like that, the pattern, quite like the pattern, and I might do that. So that's a thought. Just kind of gives it, because it's a little bit in your face, that lime green and dots and gold. So I might break that up with that and glue those down. And I really have not decided then what I'm going to actually do with Oh dear. So this is my dilemma now. Just let me... I mean, I don't know. Maybe I've got the wrong colour. Oh, yeah, okay, right. Because it's going on with not that particular piece of paper, but because it's sort of matching with this bronze I put down. Okay. So maybe I might change the colour scheme just a tad and make that some form of red, maybe. Or maybe it needs to be red and green. I'm not too sure. Anyway, while I'm contemplating that and getting maybe papers out for that bit, I'm going to glue down these couple of pieces that I've put in there just to break up that lime green. I decided after many tries, seriously, I had so many different variants in this. I think I had like so many different ideas of what I was going to put on, and I came up with, there's quite a lot of jelly prints on this. So in fact, I think that these three probably I've used the most jelly prints on. A lot of my other work is painted, but it's very difficult to paint on camera, you know, to make a short video and paint on camera, because you just paint. Yeah, so I mean they would have to be longer. Anyway, this is what I'm doing now. Yes, her gold hair is very gold. But I am going to knock that back after I've clear gessoed this whole piece. So I decided what I was going to do is I'm just going to add this gorgeous little piece here and leave some of the ink work in the background. And those little pieces there I'm going to glue on, so they've just got you know, a touch of. And then the same piece is down the bottom here. And I've just got a couple of pieces that I'm actually going to put on here, and also one down here to actually give a front to this jacket, because it has no shadow or shades or anything on it at the moment. I also, you might have noticed, put on a moon with my finger, you know, just because that's my first paintbrush. And just put the moon behind the clouds and rubbed off, you know, the excess, just to knock back a bit everywhere, because that's what I do. So I'm going to glue that down, and then I just have to look at it and make sure that I'm completely happy with all of the paper, you know, the handmade papers that are down. And then I will clear gesso the whole thing. Well, actually, I haven't decided whether I'm clear gessoing or coffee gessoing. So I've got two different homemade gessos. I've got a clear and one that I've got coffee color. And so that might be interesting. So like that. So I will be back after I stuck this down. I'm back. So I've got a few things organized. I've got some pencils, which I will be utilizing, some Derwents and some other bits and bobs that I've got in this process. Just clean that up. I think I need that now. Can you see now? I'm going to I made some let me just get a piece of paper. And I made clear gesso, 1 cup PVA glue, half a cup of water or maybe a little bit more and 6 tablespoons of marble dust makes you your own personal clear gesso. And if you want just clear gesso, then that's the recipe. You have to mix it really well though. The marble dust kind of settles. I'm sure it probably doesn't in the pre-bought ones. They probably add something to it, but you know. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make it a kind of a coffee color. And what I'm using is Seth Apter's dye spray. And this is called Honey Beige. And I'm just going to give it a couple of squirts in there. Now, it doesn't change, maybe one more. Okay. It doesn't change that large amount, you know, it's because it's quite a lot of mixture. It doesn't change it that much. But it changes it just from being clear and giving it a bit more, you know, a bit of a colour, which I really, really like that idea. Now, I might not like that idea when I'm finished. Guys, I've never done this before. So, you know, that's, I might just spray a bit of water down there to get that colour in there. Alright. Rinse off that and put that in there, and I'll give it a good shake. Right now, that will do. So before I go ahead and do that, and I'm sure you all know about clear gesso, but I thought I'd just give you a, oh, where's the other piece gone? Oh, there it is. Sorry. I give you a quick demo. So this one here, this is wax paper, the shiny side up. This is one without anything on it. This is the one with the gesso on it. Now you'll see automatically that it's actually quite matte. It's still see-through, translucent, but it's gone matte. It's not shiny anymore. So for instance, a pencil where you draw a circle, or any, what's this one? This one's a pastel, I think. Is a Derwent. I'll try for you. White is always good. So white being, you can get a white to happen, whereas on the gloss you can't get it to happen. So I don't know whether you can see that, but the white, why don't you choose a colour that's actually, so you can use, with the gesso on, you can shade and shadow and much better. Anyway, example. So that's the reason, that's what I'm going to do on this one. This is like not, it's completely different to the other two that I've done, and so that is all I'm going to do. I'm going to get my very well mixed honey dyed gesso and hope that it doesn't change the colors too much in it. Give this a, now it's got, it adds so much tooth to the piece. Like the brush strokes, you know, it's all the texture, just adding more texture really to it. I do the whole thing, even though I'm not going to draw on the whole thing. I do like to have the whole thing covered. All right. So now all we need to do is wait for that to dry up. And then we will get on with the next step. I'll see you when it's dry.